Welcome to the MTD podcast, MACH 2024. Today we're joined by Lindsay, Chloe, and our sponsor, Langley Alloys. Rodney, thanks for joining us on the podcast. Great to see you again. You've recently been filming in America, but we'll get to that shortly. But firstly, tell our audience about your business and about our relationship a little bit too, please.
Okay, well, we're a metals distributor. We distribute fancy metals, and we started working with you guys a few months ago, and the logic or the basis for that was straightforward enough. Most of our customers are CNC machinists, and all of your audience is CNC machinists, so hopefully there's a very natural fit.
Perfect fit, and Lindsay's been filming at your facility and knows a lot about
I feel like
business.
You're famous now, Rodney. I see you on LinkedIn all of the time.
Everywhere.
That wasn't the objective.
Well, it's working.
It's
oh
a
my
byproduct,
goodness.
hopefully.
It's a byproduct.
No,
It's brilliant.
It's going well. Like the materials that you supply are quite niche. Can you tell us the materials that you supply and what kind of applications that they lend themselves for?
Everything that we get involved with is high strength, high corrosion resistance, high performance. It's what we would call duplex or super duplex stainless steels, which is a bit of a mouthful, or it's nickel alloys, which people would refer to as like Inconels and Incalloys. So it's oil and gas, it's chemical processing, it's mining, it's water, it's subsea. There's lots of really challenging applications.
Now, we had a real good conversation prior to MACH 2024. This is your first MACH, I believe, or is it, or am I incorrect?
I think it's the first one in my adult life. I've got a scary flashback that my dad spent his life in machine tools and maybe brought me along here as a kid.
Okay, so what is your opinion about MACH? What is it living up to your expectations?
I didn't have strong expectations, in fairness. I'm doing a bit of sightseeing, meeting a few contacts, keeping an eye on our competitors and catching up with you guys.
Brilliant.
But it's a big event.
Yeah, brilliant. Lindsay?
Oh, well, I just think you've got a great facility. So I went to the facility, oh gosh, how long ago was it?
Oh, 3 or 4 months ago?
No,
3 or
I
4
think it
months
was
ago.
Maybe a bit
last
longer.
year. I think it was November.
I think,
Maybe.
was it really?
Yeah, I
6
think-
months.
Chloe books all of
Sorry.
our jobs, so she knows
I might
the
be wrong.
diary.
I might be wrong.
But it's
yeah.
a great facility, a great team that you've got there. And you've got the facility in America that Rowan was just at. What's the size of the business?
Square feet, tons of metal.
Well, everything really. So people can kind of get, we find out what you do, but how big are you?
For us, the value is in the metal. So we can talk about tons, and that doesn't really convey the fact that we're sitting on £20 million worth of stock.
Oh, wow.
Because the stuff that we're dealing with is expensive.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think Rowan probably had the better gig, in fairness, filming in Houston rather than Stoke-on-Trent.
Honestly.
But the facility in Stoke-on-Trent is still great. And when me and Gio met you, when I met you for the first time, Rodney, when we went, it was literally like a conveyor belt, wasn't it? You had 2 roller shutter doors. The metal come in one way. You scanned it, you stored it. It then went through the inspection process. You then went on to cut it to your customer requirements, and then it went out the door.
It's a well-oiled machine.
Absolutely.
It's a well-oiled, congested, full machine.
But you kept on saying this. You're like, the thing is, we are like on top of one another, but we know where absolutely every product is.
We have to.
Yeah.
Because
We have
otherwise
to.
it just...
I'd love to be in a bigger facility, and maybe we will be. But at the moment, we just make work where we are.
Langley, obviously, are not the only company providing special steels. Why should engineers use Langley alloys? Bit of a tongue twister there.
Yeah, that was a bit of a heavy question as well.
I'm pretty sure it's not to speak to me. It's stock, it's availability, and it's being competitive on pricing. It's doing the basics well.
But also what I've learned, and Lindsay's learned, and we've learned as a business, is the technical expertise.
Those tech
of
corners that
You mean the
team.
metallurgists that work for the
Yeah.
company are incredibly intelligent people that have had years and years of study, and when you start talking to them, you can barely understand a word that they're saying because you actually go, oh my
With
gosh.
MTD, we see metal cutting every day, but you just take it to that next level.
You do.
Sometimes it feels like there's as much paper as there is metal. So with the specifications, with the additional testing, additional inspection, all those requirements, it's never simply just a lump of metal.
Yeah.
it's way more than that.
Yeah,
and that's probably what adds the value, is that certainty or confidence. If someone comes asking for something particularly complicated and demanding, we'll just make it appear relatively simple. It's not, but hopefully from the customer's perspective it is.
Who is your customer? I know that you were facing that way, so I struggled to hear when I know you went over the list of like metals that you produce, but who mainly uses you, and who should be using you, who isn't?
So you can come at it from two different ways. It's going into oil and gas, chemical processing, aerospace, mining, water, really demanding applications. But in terms of transactional customers, it's people making pumps and valves and fasteners and equipment, and it's either an OEM who designs and manages and produces their own product, or it's a CNC machinist who's subcontracting for them.
Yes.
So our reason for working with you guys is to make sure that as many of those machinists will think of us when it comes to sourcing the metal.
Absolutely.
There was sorry to pretend, there was a really fascinating story, and was it about the Statue of Liberty? Come on, let's hear that story, Rodney.
If you're going to have a reference, make it a good one, yeah? So,
there we go!
Yeah. So there's about 9 tons of one of our metals that we invented and patented and blah, 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 was used when the statue was refurbished in the 80s.
That was it, yeah.
So some of my sales team joke that it's the bit holding up the arm and it's the structurally critical arm bit.
Is it?
But it's not. It's all of the stuff that you don't see inside the statue
But
that holds it up.
It's vital to holding it up, isn't it? The strength of that material is vital.
It's just a good reference.
That's why I referenced it, Rodney.
I like it.
I
Rodney's
remember
so
it.
down to earth.
It is,
I love
it's
it.
brilliant.
We've got a rich heritage, and the company started many years ago. We met Chris. He attended MACH on Monday.
Yep.
What's the future look like for you?
Hopefully bright. There's different elements to our business. So for me, the stocking and distribution of metals, UK, US, is the day job. That's the bit that is most important to me. We export to 50 odd countries, and I'd be super happy to just see that growing. But we're getting into added value, into additional processing. I'm sure if Chris was here, he's got his eye on buying some more equipment. And it's nice to be in a positive business where we can be ambitious and try to add to what we offer.
And what's the market looking like for you at the minute as a steel supplier?
I'd love to say it's really positive, and that's what I tell all of our competitors. The difficulty is that because we're operating, globally, we're trying to track what's happening in the rest of the world in terms of oil and gas or the chemical process industry. Are there big projects coming through? At the moment, it still feels pretty positive, and we'll sort of ride that positive wave in the marketplace for as long as we can, and we'll spend our time and our hard-earned money on improving the business and making it more resilient.
How important is marketing in improving the business through an educational perspective?
2/3, 3/4 of what we sell in the UK is exported, and it's exported to 50 different countries. How are those people going to find us? It's not by visiting the factory, it's by seeing us or hearing us online. We do plenty of exhibitions, but not in 50 countries every year.
No, you can't.
So we need this marketing and the website and the mail shots and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I just love, and I know we'll have to come to a close in a moment, but I just love how you have to predict the market, and I don't know how you do it, but you have to predict the market to bring that into stock, to see what people require, because you can't hold too much stock, and I'm like, your brain must be fried.
It's not that we can't hold too much stock, it's one, sometimes it takes
The
9
time.
to 12 months to be manufactured.
Yeah.
And 2, we're guessing based on what we've supplied previously.
Yeah.
And 3,
Experience.
it's very expensive.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you can only hold so much, and
Yeah.
it takes ages to turn up.
Yeah.
So
The customer,
Really cool.
the customer may as well have another job come in off the off chance, and that supplier may cancel the job. So things can go up and down at the flip of a coin. So having to base it off what customers have had previously, yes, logically, but things can change. Within
You
an
didn't know.
absolute
You were
instant.
like, well, today we've got like say 10 deliveries. It was really cool. We were there. It was like, I've got 10 deliveries. But who knows what time they logistically could arrive, because you can't predict the arrivals. And it would be like we'd do some filming, and then like a lorry would come in and do a drop off, and then we're like, okay, we'll do this. No, we can't. There's another lorry coming, and it was wonderful though.
We're predicting what stock to buy based on what people have bought historically.
Yeah.
Which is a bit like driving your car only using the rearview mirror. It's a case of just trying to do a few products well rather than lots of products badly, and that's our core focus in a way.
Brilliant.
Rodney, historically, you've just mentioned that you supply certain materials, and some of the materials you patented yourself. In regards to some of the historical components, such as valves and subsea components, have you seen any new componentry that requires your materials that we can discuss?
We have products that were invented or developed for one application, say naval applications, so they're very good in seawater, but then a whole industry developed around oil and gas that needed the same alloys. But now with offshore wind or floating wind, those same alloys and products are being used in those renewable energies now as well. So you're seeing a sort of a transition. So people will talk about the energy transition, but those high performance products are being used in those applications. They're being brought through with them.
And are you still working on new materials that don't exist yet?
Less so of that these days. You know, developing new materials is a little bit beyond where the company is these days. But we're always looking at what we should be stocking and whether it's a good fit for us, but for our customers.
Brilliant. Thank you so
you're
much
welcome.
for coming on. We've got some questions coming in, but I don't know if they're for what relates to you, so I'll just... if you can write that again, that would be great, because I don't understand it. I'm sorry. But yeah, brilliant. Thank you,
nice
Rodney.
to see you all again.
Yeah, it's so lovely. Honestly, you're like famous.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Rodney.
Don't leave me hanging. Thank you.
Did you leave her hanging?
We talk all the time. He really does know me, honestly. He does know who I am.
I'll see you all soon.
Brilliant.
Yeah, cheers, Rodney.
Hello, Dave. Hello, Dave. Yeah, we're going to do the hugs and the kisses then.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, good to see you. I brought my own special beer.
Oh, no way.
What is it?
Win Max beer.
I've heard about this
We had
beer.
our own special beer brewed for the event.
For Mac?
For Mac,
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic.
Special
Oh
Herco
my
beer.
goodness.
What percentages is it?
It's only a session pale ale. It's
I was going to say, I won't have one.
Really low.
Wow.
We've got a bottle opener for this.
I've only got one. No, actually, I did order 1,000 bottles for the thing, so we could certainly you could sample it.
Is
I
that
wouldn't mind
you
enjoying
asking?
one with you, Dave,
Who's
after this.
asking?
It's Win Maxberg, probably the best control in the world.
Oh, my
I love that.
So,
Brilliant.
Dave, have you having a good show?
it's been a good show. Yeah. Particularly the 3 middle days. So Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
Thursday,
always busy, yeah.
and today I've been surprised because it's been a steady flow. But I've looked at the number of contacts that have been here. It's a lot. Numbers are good.
And what's your flagship machine at the minute? What are you pushing?
Yeah, we're pushing. I mean, what we mainly do, and the reason we come to Mac is the real advantage is the control and the benefits of the control. But we talk so much about the control, we forget to tell people how good the machines are and how well they cut. And coming to a show like this with 11 machines is the way to do it. So you see the whole range, you see everything Herco does, and you see that you can program it, you can get in front of it, make your parts really well, and also you see that the machines cut metal. So all our machines are cutting metal, not bits of wax or plastic or anything, and that's our strength, and that's what we like to do. So,
Dave, we've known each other for many years. The market is changing all the time. It's evolving. Tell us how you're finding business in general at the minute, and about our industry. The skills shortage, new trends, new innovations. What's caught your attention at this MAC?
okay, there's a few questions there I can answer.
that's about 10 in one.
Certainly, if we go to skill shortage first, the item that's had the most interest has been the automation, no question. We have our own product, the Pro Cobot, which is a pick and place robot, and that I think 2 years ago we showed it and there was a bit of interest and people kind of understood they needed that kind of thing. This time we've been demoing morning till evening, and we have a lot. What that suits is small, medium batches, 25, 100, 200, that kind of thing, pick and place, very nice. And then we have at the same time we have an Aroa system which could do up to 48 one-offs if it needed to, and I think with the skill shortages there's no question that's a big interest, and I think everyone we've all talked about it. We're all talking about our techniques to get young people engaged. How do we get them employed? What do you do from that point of view as well? So that's been a big part of the show.
I've done a video on that Pro Cobot. It's very good. It's very engineer friendly, very usable. But then you've got the other side of the Aroa pallet changer. So you've got basically a shop for everybody, consisting with your machines as well, from your small VMCs to your large 5-axis VMCs. Are you seeing trends within the different markets with the machines that you're providing?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, there's no right or wrong.
Of course.
Each machine, each solution suits a different kind of application. And one thing, particularly on 5-axis, which is become a really big part of what Herco do. I think we're showing 5 different 5-axis configurations, and every single one is ideal for the customer, depending on what they've done.
Yeah.
Some customers want to do massive one-off parts and they just want to get close and work on them. Some people want to make 1,000 of one, and so I say that, and some just want the cheapest 5-axis they can get. Some people want the most accurate 5-axis they can get. So what we try to do is have a solution for
100%.
each, and be the people who know, really give the advice that's best for them. So.
David, where's Herco going? What's next?
Yeah,
I know, what's next? Just hearing all what you're saying. Yeah. I mean, I don't know whether you can actually say it. I don't know if you've got a product launch or anything, so sometimes it's a bit like hush-hush, but what's next? What can we see from it?
When you're a big NASDAQ-quoted American company, you don't normally get your product launches at MACH. You normally get them at IMTS, and that's always been one of my challenges. For us, the turning centre side of the business there's a lot of potential to grow. We still only got 7 or 8 models in the medium 6-8 inch size, and we've got a number of driven tool lathes now, but the software's beginning to work really well. People still like the simple, easy conversational programming, and that can be adapted to a lot more machines. So gradually we're going to be expanding on that side.
We did a video, didn't we, at Varlo? Well, we did 3 videos, didn't we, at Varlo?
With the Varlo video,
Rowan, wherever he is, did such a fantastic job. There he is over there. Hello, Rowan. We did a job, and you should see this video, Gio and Lindsay. And one thing that David said to me, I said, look, we've got it booked in. Is there like a specific brief that you want? And he said, all I want in one of the videos is Rowan and the guy walking down the middle. And it was just, how many Hercos have they got now?
I should know straight in my head. I think it's 12.
12. Just wall-to-wall Hercos. And they are absolutely delighted. And they cannot shout about it enough. The 2 screens as well, which makes programming, a conversational programming. So you've got the programming on one side, and then you've got the test cut on the side, so you don't have to be swapping and changing. You can test run it before you cut it. It's just absolutely ideal for a customer like that.
Yeah, they're a great customer. I was quite surprised.
You're like,
I've seen the orders come through, and you hear about the business and you talk to them at shows, but I hadn't actually seen what a beautiful, clean shop
it's clean,
it was.
isn't it? Yeah.
And it's funny, they've been on the stand a couple of times, and I know I was shaking. I said, I didn't know you had film stars in your in your business, and it's interesting because they bought a couple of bigger machines. So unfortunately, the whole facility is packed solid now.
Yeah,
but they're saying they bought one big machine, and all their customers are filling the big machine. So, and they were talking about a rotary tilt table now to do a bit more complicated work, and it's been a great success story.
Have you walked around the show?
I have, not that. I did come to sort of spy on the competition a little bit, but the problem is I've been in the industry 32 years and I know too many people, and I end up talking to everyone.
It's brilliant.
It's,
I'll say something. So many people, and I'm not, I always say credit where credit's due. everyone loves you as an MD. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I love Dave, to be honest.
Yeah, well, there you go. Everyone loves you. The case studies, people like love you. And all your case studies are always so positive. Like,
always.
You know, we get to go out, we hear people's stories, don't we? And we do hear some things, you know, but yours, they're just, everyone is just sings your praises.
Yes, we
you
did.
and the
I was going to say, we
machines.
did a good one at A&M, didn't we, where we
Yeah,
walked
well,
through and
A&M
it
is
was
like a
beautiful.
showroom
It was,
for
it was
you.
fantastic.
Goodness
So
me.
they're another
Actually,
one
the
there.
guys have just seen them here today.
Yeah,
he wants us back in, sorry. Just so you know.
Yeah, I know. He did tell me.
Even when we come to your facility is fantastic as well. Has all the new machines and your applications engineers as well. Abigail's fantastic.
Yes,
And
our new film star.
yeah, new film star. And I came up to her yesterday and she was like, don't even ask me. So I was like, come on, let's go. She's fantastic. She's got the knowledge. She knows what she's talking about. And for you to have engineers like that to go out in the field gives you so much confidence that the customers will just keep returning more work.
What have you seen of interest at the show? I'm sorry, we've got questions coming in.
Questions coming in.
They go, look at your phone, look at your phone. I'm like, yeah, so what have you
Of
seen?
interest, I mean, I must admit, I haven't been round an
That's
awful lot
why
and
I
seen
asked,
too
yeah.
much. You do tend to. I know every time I leave, I'm like, oh, it should be back.
Yeah, it's hard.
So I mean, we mentioned automation earlier, and it's really surprising how many more companies are showing it, and also it's becoming a bit of a standard. So whereas people were worried about it, and even selling divisions were a bit concerned about how we're going to show it, how's it going to work. We're basically, oh yeah, do you want a robot? Yeah, I'll do you a robot. And that's been the big change.
So
I
the
think,
new normal, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's the new normal. We have to do it.
Dave,
the big
are
change.
you selling automation to legacy customers as well as new?
How do you get in the door with
new
automation?
machines?
Yeah, at the moment, most of it is Herco customers who we've known need it, really. So some of we really specialise on one-off small batch production. The more complicated the part, the better. But when you sell one or two, customers want 20, 30, 50, 100. And why, you know, there are... Obviously, you want to keep people employed, but simply standing on a mat all day, opening a door, shutting a door, it's not really satisfying. So what most Herco users are good, you know, CNC operators, and by having the robot, all it means is that one operator can be more productive. So it doesn't really take any of the work away. It makes them, just makes their job more enjoyable. So
them.
yeah, so now they're a robot operator, they're a lathe operator, they're a machining center operator, and yeah, they make the boss more money, so they earn more money.
It's a win-win, isn't it?
I've been to so many of your cases. I'm thinking like where they make the chocolate molds.
McIntyre.
Like literally, there's so many of your cases. Couple of machine range. You've got so much to offer.
And when Dave gives me, because obviously we work quite closely with the customers, and I go, hi, I've been giving you contact details by Dave at Herco. Oh yeah, come in, no problem. And it's like they're so confident that these machines will stand the test of time and do the work, and it's easy programming. No problem. They're happy to go on camera and shout about these machines.
Brilliant.
Very impressive, Dave.
He's like that. Stop talking. Stop it. Oh, tell me more.
Oh, what? Are you like me to mention my beer?
No, Joff wants one.
Joff wants. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no problem.
Joff wants one.
We have a couple, and you are obviously invited. I know. I've seen you going through the Madry here, and I know you'll run out soon. So if you need to, you might. We've got bigger bottles.
We might have to go down to Herco.
We've got bigger bottles.
He's got a bigger bottle than you.
Wouldn't mind sampling some, Dave. Looking forward to it.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank
Should we
you,
give him a
Dave.
round of applause?
Yeah, cheers. Good. Thank you. I'll leave you my beer.
Thank you.
The next guest is Lee Scott from Starrag.
Come on, Lee.
Oh, Lee. Hello.
How are we?
Sorry, it'll be a while. He has to give us all hugs as we go along. Sorry. Oh, this is so much fun. It's so much fun.
Lovely.
It's great. It's great.
Good to see you, Lee. I feel like I've been seeing you every day, and I've heard some great stories about the magician on your stand.
Oh my God, the magician!
But yeah, how's he getting on today?
Well, he's gone
It's magic.
now. So no, he's been great. He's kept us all entertained all week.
Talk a bit closer to the mic.
Sorry, a bit closer to the mic.
Yeah,
he's kept us entertained all week. He's done a good job.
And any new tricks today?
No, but they're always good to watch twice.
Some of the tricks.
Have you worked any of his tricks out? They've got a magician on the Starrag stand.
No, they're far too smart and quick for me, unfortunately.
And Chris caught it on camera and we still couldn't catch it, you know what I mean? And that's a good magician right there.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't melt that lollipop though.
The lollipop?
Oh, you didn't see the lollipop?
No.
It sets fire to
Right, that's it, I'm going.
We need to run! Oh, we saved the best till last. No, he got a lighter today, lit the lighter, big flame lollipop in his hand.
Oh
Amazing.
my gosh.
That's cool.
Have you had a good show so far?
No, we have. It's been great. Really good week. Really good week.
And what have been the highlights so far?
I think for us, 2 years ago was okay. It was a good show. I think this year it's surpassed expectations in every way. I think the footfall's better. I think the quality of the people that have been on the stand are great. We've got quite a good number of inquiries from the show as well. So it's really good.
News.
Really good.
And can you explain to our audience a little bit about the kind of technology and innovation that you supply? Because it is to a niche market, if you like. It's not mainstream to a certain degree.
No, it's not. We've got a wide range of products. So we start at micro machining and we go up to kind of 20, 30 metres, 300-ton table load machines. And there's lots in between. And we sell into specific sectors. So aerospace and energy tech sector, transport and industrial and high precision machining, med tech type sectors. So we're in that kind of, we're selling into 10% of the market, I suppose.
And what kind of trends have you seen that have changed in the industry?
I think right now the trend is for a lot of investment in the UK on big high profile projects that are mostly assembly, and I'd like to see a trend in the future where those big assembly projects had a big high content of UK manufactured products.
We discussed this yesterday.
We did. So I think that's something we need to work on as an industry.
Give us some examples about that, Lee.
Well, I'm going to be careful on names here, but in the north we've got great news on the rail industry. We've got great news in aero engine and aerostructure opportunities. We've got battery factories coming in. We've got huge expansion in automotive factories.
But we need to be more. We need to be manufacturing more of this.
Sure, I think so. And we need to be manufacturing it in a very cost-effective way because piece 100%. Part price is king.
100%. And we mentioned the skills gap with David Waghorn, and it's been a topic that that's been quite common when I've been talking to people around MACH. How should we address this as an industry in the UK?
Well, certainly there's a massive increase in the intake in apprentices at the moment, which I'm a massive fan of, and I think that's a real big step in the right direction. I also think there's a change in strategy required away from kind of single platform, single pallet type, vertical type, tool room type machines into more automated systems, including machines, automation, and I think that will bring a different set of skills into the industry. It won't mean jobs are lost, it just means different jobs will be created.
Upskilling people.
It's upskilling and it's making the industry more competitive on a piece part basis, which means we should win more longer term contracts.
100%. We can be more competitive globally.
I think times have changed as well, leading on. Like from when I know I rant and rave about my time in my apprenticeship, but my apprenticeship was only 10 years ago, and the gap from there to here now, automation, yes, we are still behind a lot of other companies, but it's coming in. And I think sometimes the structure of the apprenticeships are quite left behind. So yes, you do your manual milling, your manual turning, but there's so much more that they can start learning on specialised machines that you provide, Lee. And like you say, it's upskilling, and some people are button pushers, but we can add automation into that and upskill those people so people are making more money and getting the product out the door.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What can we do? I was literally thinking this last night on the way home and in the way in. If everyone is talking about skill shortages, what are we going to do?
I think that, and it's just my opinion, I think we discussed it as well, I think that we need to change the perception of engineering, because I think parents in the UK have still got a massive misconception of what our industry is, and they still associate our industry as being a dirty industry, and they're not necessarily wanting their kids to get into the industry. And then I think that from an apprentice perspective, or if someone's going to university to be a graduate engineer, I honestly believe from our apprenticeships, like you're mentioning newly, I think it needs to be 50-50 practical and theoretical, because I think that how can you design components without understanding how to make them, or understanding the capabilities of a sophisticated machine like yours, Lee?
You've got a number of different processes to consider. There's the materials process itself, and there's a lot of growth in the additive field, so how we create net shapes to start with. The machining world's changed an awful lot. There's the assembly world's changed an awful lot, so designers are grappling with all these changes in technology right now, and we're starting to see this come through in automotive and aerospace and other industries. That's changing the way technology looks, and it's changing the way different technologies are linked together. And I think one of the big changes in the industry is the way that we link everything together into a single process, and have a lot of traceability, digital traceability on material through manufacture to assembly into an end product, whether it be a train, plane, automobile, whatever. So there is a lot of change, but I think the universities and the tech centres are embracing this. I think the government is supporting the university and apprenticeship schemes. I just don't think we win enough work in the UK.
And that's probably right. You're probably right.
I said I just don't think we win enough work in the UK. So Paul and I have been discussing this a lot. We put a podcast out the other week. We're going to follow this up after MACH, because I think there's a number of areas where we could bring people together and hopefully make a change on this. But I had a discussion today with somebody from one of the catapults, and there's a lot of strategy stuff going out around the different industries from the government, and what do we need from the future. But if we're not careful, we spend a lot of time talking about it and waiting, and when the jobs drop, we're not ready for them.
100%.
Paul says that.
Is there more of a reliance on companies such as yourselves to help industry? I mean, you know, in the past they had their own skilled engineers and experts. Is that reluctancy more on you now?
Most of our contracts are sort of cradle to grave, so we look at what a customer needs, and then we develop the complete solution, engineer it, program it, tool it up. We work with a lot of partner companies as well, so we supply a complete solution. I think that is becoming more of a requirement in the industry because of what you've just said and because of the skill shortage. But to load a machine and run a machine, you do kind of need an operator these days, but behind the operator you need a much higher skill level to run the automation and do the pre-production processes. So it is changing for sure.
And artificial intelligence, how does that play a part?
We all feel the same way. We're like all a bit like, oh.
Lindsay, can you remember when we met that guy, the founder of Esprit, a few emos ago?
I remember that
and
man.
that was when no one was talking about artificial intelligence at the time. And now it is a buzzword within our industry.
I've not heard it mentioned. You're the first person who's mentioned it at the show that I've heard after speaking to people. But I heard it more at emo than I have here.
Well, it's a massive topic, isn't it now? My daughter's 16 and she asked me to look at some homework with her today, and she said, "It's all right, Dad, I'll just check it out on AI. I thought, oh my God, what's going on here? I had no idea what she was doing, and there it is written for her, the answer.
Yeah, it's scary.
We looked at, I talked to our head of innovation for Group in Switzerland. He's got lots of projects now where we're looking at AI. We looked at that picture on the side of our booth the other day, didn't we? It looks like a flower from a distance. When you get close up, there's loads of detail, and I wondered how it was done. AI.
Was it?
I believe so. So AI is everywhere.
Sometimes you just don't recognise it. Like you see things in time and day, and sometimes I look at it and I think, oh my gosh, that's real, but it's not until you really take a deeper look that it's not.
It's only going to get better as well.
Yeah.
Well, I was talking to some guys from Autodesk yesterday that are using it in their day-to-day life now, and discussing how they are going to incorporate it into the software from a manufacturing perspective, and looking or discussing about some of the smart factories of the future. And when we start talking about cradle to grave manufacturing and the reliance on companies such as Starrag to create the complete process, you can kind of see where it's going. If there's companies that are manufacturing their own parts, such as the automotive industry, you can see how that can be physically done. But what I can't see is if you're a subcontractor and you don't know what's coming through the door from day to day, I just don't understand how that could be implemented yet. I don't know.
I don't know
Deep
how to
question,
answer
I'm
that.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a difficult question to answer. I agree. As an OEM, you look at your through design to manufacture processes, and everything's predicted, and AI helps with the predictability of the process. I think with a subcontractor, I think AI does have a place, especially from the CAM side. I think it's all about understanding the capabilities of each part of the process and letting the AI bring it all together, and kind of morph technologies from one process to the next process to the next process without manual intervention and repeatability. But it's such a massive topic. It's a massive topic.
You opened a can of worms there, didn't you?
It's been a pleasure to see you again.
Always
today.
lovely to see you
It's been
guys.
brilliant.
Thank you for
And,
asking me
no,
on.
Thank you
And
for joining
great,
us.
great wine. Thank
No,
you very much.
No, thank you, Lee.
See you soon.
Thanks, Lee.
Can I just say, Chloe came off from the Starrag stand yesterday. I've never seen her so happy. She was like, they cut coral.
I actually didn't even get to research it last night because I fell asleep. I was that excited.
You said you were
but
going
I was going to
to.
ask Lee a question, but I'm actually going to have to go to the stand. And it was actually Paul who I was interviewing, and he was just like, yeah, we cook coral. I was like, what do you mean you cook coral? He was like, what? And I'm like, what? And we were just staring at each other for a
It
while.
was wicked. They showed me a component that you can't actually physically measure it until you put it in a microwave, and then the current of the microwave, so it proves it. It just has to be measured by the proof that it works, and then that's the measurement. Like it's really cool
if that frequency went through the line and come out the other end, it's okay. But if the frequency didn't get there and you didn't have a noise at the end of it, it was scrap. And it's like, what? Anyway, hello, how are you? Sorry,
This is Adam
fascinating.
and Stanley from T3D MC, and measurement is your bag,
Well,
Adam.
you've got to live up to this excitement
Absolutely
now as
So
well.
perfect
How
segue
do you
into
measure
this
a microwave?
next guest's technology.
Yeah.
And we've had some breaking news today. I went onto your stand earlier, and you are going to be launching a very new, innovative measuring solution. Can you tell our audience about it? And firstly, welcome to the
Well, thank you very much. I was just going to say, it's great to be here with you guys. I've watched for a number of years MTD and the work you've done. Gio, I've seen you in lots of videos over the years, and it's great to sit down with you and watch with admiration over the years. So it's great to
professionals are doing the videos now.
He's out on the road.
I've seen you with
for
your red
coming
mic, just tearing it up around the UK. So it's great to spend a bit of
To
time.
add that, we wouldn't be anything if it wasn't for you guys as well. So flip it
100%.
round. We're the same about everyone who comes on. So
Well,
anyway, let's not get soppy. Let's find out about more about what you do. Come on.
Yeah, well, as Gio said, so T3DMC, it's the 3D measurement company. We are a provider of automated and handheld portable measurement technology in the UK and for Ireland. But we are in a position now where the supplier that we work with, Scantech, who are a global provider of metrology solutions, they've developed a piece of technology which was launched globally last week in a big online global launch event. We were there over with them, and we are bringing it to the UK in a month's time. So it's just going through all its accreditations now. It's coming over in 4 weeks' time. And honestly, this system is going to revolutionise the measurement industry. Like,
You heard
it here.
You heard
first.
it, yeah.
I have not seen technology like this for probably I haven't felt like this, just to say, since I came out of university 18 years ago and saw 3D measurement for the first time. I was like a kid in a sweet store last week. It was just unbelievable. And my whole team are so excited to be able to go and show this to the UK industry, because this isn't just metrology equipment, this isn't just quality control, this is anyone who wants to measure something. You can pick this system up and get the most incredible detail on a large volume for scanning that you can do anything with. You know, you could inspect with it, you could reverse engineer with it, you could just design around it, anything you need to digitally create, this is the tool for it.
I want to know, but I'm waiting for the launch and the announcement and everything like that. Like, this is really, it sounds so impressive.
Do you know what I love most about it? And this is one of my favourite things about Scantech actually as a company. They listen so intently to the industry and their distributor network to say what's missing,
Okay.
what do people really need and what do they really want. And this is the system. I think actually since laser-based technology came out, I think 8 years ago, something like that, in a world that was dominated by other 3D scanning technology, people wanted like lighter weight, quicker, wireless technology. That's what they really wanted, and along with user friendliness, easy to use software, something delivered just quickly and simple. And this is what they've done.
But I want to know more. Like, are we allowed to know more? Like, what is it that makes it so?
I mean,
so we're allowed to know. Sorry,
yeah,
forgive me. I
absolutely.
thought the launch was like next.
No, so the global launch happened last week. So it's
Okay.
out. It's called the Nimble Track.
Well, there we go. Let's get into it. Tell us what
Yeah,
it
the
is. Like,
Scantech Nimble Track. It is a lightweight tracking scanning technology that gives operators the ability to just pick a system up out of a box, nothing more, and start capturing data. Data that you could genuinely do metrology level of inspection on, or you can just capture space, whatever you want.
Can you use it, sorry, from a machinist point of view, can you, obviously you said it's lightweight and nimble, right? So
Yeah, there you go.
lightweight,
There you
easy to use. As a machinist myself, this would be great if my part was on the machine. Is that how I hit the nail on the head?
Absolutely.
really?
Yeah.
So your part on the machine, if you haven't got the appropriate type of probing or anything like that, what you'd normally do is take it off, send it to your metrology guy in a temperature controlled room, stick it in a vise, da-da-da-da-da. I presume we take this with the part still on the machine, scan the machine. If it's out by a mil, if it's out by 0.5, we can then go recut it without taking it off and changing the work set.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, to give props to 3D scanning over the years for what it can do.
It's come a long way.
You can do that with technology that already exists in the 3D scanning capacity, even within Scantech's own range. They still have that tech that'll do it, but traditionally what you'll need is either bigger kit that's just a bit more difficult to get close to the machine, or you have to stick these reference targets over everything, which doesn't work when there's coolant around. They're just annoying, they get in the way.
Are they physical reference?
Yeah, they're physical.
So you
little
have to physically
stickers.
put, I know what you
stick them
mean.
on, and you've probably seen them. Lots of systems use them, including some of our own. This doesn't use them. It doesn't need them.
Okay.
So you can literally rock up to the side of a machine, scan something, and inspect it to a CAD model.
Wow.
The best thing about scanning, though, with that, as opposed to a probe-based technology, which you might get inside the machine, you can check the surfaces of the data and do a global best fit of your data to CAD and get an analysis of that. You can check your datums that way. So you can understand whether you've machined your datums correctly or whether the part is wrong. So you do both at the same time.
So you can determine which or what, whether it's machine error, whether it's operator error, anything like that.
Precisely.
So it's a lot more than metrology, really, then, isn't it?
We're talking about whole process control here.
From the start to
this
finish.
Is adaptation of whole processes.
Adam, like if I was a manufacturer watching this podcast now,
of which there will be many, I'm sure.
And hopefully there will be many. and there'll be many that are interested in new innovation and technology. That's why they're attending MACH 2024. So they're watching this podcast now and they're listening to you. It's really exciting news. It's a very big statement that it's going to revolutionise the industry.
100%.
What are the pain points that they are currently incurring that they would need your technology for? You say that your company has listened to the industry, that they are giving the industry what it needs.
Yes.
What does it need? But what are them real pain points that are going to make you a very rich man and your business.
Well, it will make so Scantech, who are the developer of the equipment. They're the ones who have got this vivacious attitude towards R&D and trying to make a better world in the metrology space. We're but their mere distribution network in the UK. But no, honestly, from a pain point of view, and I can say this because I'm an engineer. You know, I've worked in metrology now for best part of 18 years.
Did you study metrology at
I didn't.
university?
I did a material science master's degree at the University of Birmingham.
Okay.
Did you listen to Langley that were on here?
You know what? I've been so
He'll watch
busy at
it
the
back.
show that
You'll hear though, you can't hear.
You can watch it back though.
I will, 100%. I 100% will watch it back. And I was fortunate enough to do. Had a really great degree. I've been fortunate through a lot of my career to be either working alongside really great educated people who are very passionate about what they did. And I worked for a German company I actually only worked for a company for 4 years and then started the 3D measurement company because I fell in love with metrology. I'd never knew what it was before. And I did material science where I came out of that, ended up working for GOM Metrology, who's now owned by Zeiss. And I still work with Zeiss now. We represent their software here, which, you know, this equipment can integrate with Zeiss software, Polyworks software, VeriSurf software we can use with Geomagic, lots of different technologies. But back to your pain points, the big thing for the pain points is how easy it is to scan. So scanning used to be difficult, used to be challenging, you used to need lots of experience
And
to do
errors
it.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Whereas now
my gosh.
it's robust, it's easy to use, it is accurate, and it's simple.
So it's simplification.
Simplification.
Effective, and it's
And
saving
that's
time and money.
Yeah.
But there's another point that is that I see all the time in manufacturing facilities, in a lot of manufacturing facilities. I always see sometimes that or most of the times, that the metrology is always like the poor brother. People seem to invest lots of money in new machine tools, making components, and then you'll see a big backlog in inspection.
Yeah.
So it kind of defeats the objective of trying to reduce the cycle time. With this simplification, are you looking at it? It needs to be looked at as a complete process, not manufacturing and inspection. How are you going to incorporate this product into the complete process? How would that look?
It's a great question because I've spoken to so many people this week about the challenges in their inspection room and backlogs for things, and having to wait for their parts to come back. Now, everyone wants their parts inspected if they could, so that they can understand how their process is performing. But imagine if you could take your measurement equipment out of the inspection room and get it closer to where it's being made. That's what we're bridging the gap here. And if you can, and people have been trying to do that for a long time, but the portable scanning technology has not been portable enough, or the portable ones that you can use aren't accurate enough, or you need to put dots over everything. And there's just always something that pulls it back that isn't then a strong enough argument to utilize it. Well, we're stripping all of that away now. We've got completely wireless, so it's safe to use, it's lightweight, no dots being used. So we've got a big 18 cubic meter window that we can put anything in and start scanning it. So we've spoken to lots of people now where they're not having to worry about waiting a day, 3 days, a week. I spoke to somebody earlier today, so they have to wait a week to understand whether something is made correctly, by which time they might have scrapped a number of parts.
Yeah.
And we worked out with them and said, look, if you had even just the manual version of this system, a portable manual version, which it's all scalable technology, so you can integrate it into a cobot very, very easily, because we work with automated integration software as well from 11 Dynamics and 3D Infotech. Now, these softwares allow you to scale the product, but even if you just use it manually, you could reduce scrap by up to 80% just by measuring at line, not waiting to get to your inspection. And for me and my team at the 3D Measurement Company, that's what we love about what we do. We're not product guys, we are application guys, and we love talking to people about their real challenges and figuring out a solution for their whole problem.
It sounds like you're going to be making our
you're gonna
industry
get lots
a lot
of orders.
more efficient.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
We can't wait if you give us the opportunity
Yeah.
to report on this new
I think I want
innovation
to see it.
and technology.
Can we
want to
all
see
come and have a
it.
look?
We want to
Absolutely.
see it.
There we go.
We'll
That's
be here in the UK in 4 weeks. So
4 weeks.
Okay.
Right, we'll be on it, Adam. We're on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's MTD, we're on it.
All right.
Adam, thanks so much
I
for your
appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Adam.
Great to meet you all.
Thank you. Thanks for going on. Thank you.
So I believe that's it for the
Wow.
Thursday's MTD podcast at MACH 2024. Thanks so
What
much
time
for
does the
all
MTA
our-
dinner start, Gio?
I'm not sure, Lindsay. That's a good question.
What are you
I'm not
wearing,
sure. My MTD top. I haven't got a change of clothes. So
You've got no change. What
I'm-
about all? Have you got? Are you going to change? Are you going to wear the same outfit that you're wearing now tomorrow?
no, I'm going to go home tonight and get changed into
Oh, that's
a
good. You have a nice shower. In
Yeah, I
between
will.
today
Yes,
and
so don't worry
tomorrow.
about that. I won't smell
Oh,
too
it's going
much.
to stink. It's going to stink.
But no, thanks for everyone that's watched the show. And the last MTD podcast from MACH 2024 will start at an earlier time tomorrow. So what time's that, Lindsay? Do we know what
I
time that
don't know.
is?
You've asked the wrong person.
12:30.
12:30, we believe. But
If
stay
anything
tuned.
changes, we'll tell you. So I'm not sure. I've just pulled that from somewhere.
No,
don't
thanks,
tell.
guys.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.